Hi, my name's Al and today I'm going to show you how to change your handlebar height by adjusting your stem. In order to change the height of your bars and adjust your stem, there's not many tools that you need at all. In most cases, just some Allen keys will do the job, although some stems will use Torx fasteners, so you may need Torx keys, and we would recommend the use of a torque wrench just to make sure everything's tightened up properly. The amount of adjustment that you've got regarding bar height is limited by the length of steerer tube that you've got here. So you'll have a certain number of spaces and we're basically going to be moving those around in order to lift or lower the stem. If you want to go any further, then you're going to need a different stem with either a positive or a negative rise. We wouldn't recommend using any more than 30mm worth of spacers underneath the stem because it can put extra strain on your steerer tube, which could cause it to fail. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to loosen the stem. So in this case, it's a T30 Torx key, and we're undoing the pinch bolt there, and that will leave the stem free to move on the steerer tube. With that loose, we're going to move on to the preload bolt here on the top, and all that this bolt and the top cap does is it compresses the whole bearing assembly by pushing the stem down, preloading the bearings and getting rid of any slop in the steering. It should only be nipped up. If it's over tightened, it'll crush your bearings. The steering won't feel so good. So with that removed and this bolt undone, you'll see I'm holding the fork. Reason for that is it is free to drop out at any time. There's nothing holding it in anymore, other than a bit of friction. So now we're able to remove our stem, like so, and we can reposition these spacers wherever we like in order to change the height. So what we're going to do is we're going to put all our spacers, in this instance, underneath the stem. So we've got two 10s, two 5s, so 30mm, no more than that. No bike should ever come supplied with more than that anyway, really, especially with a carbon steerer. And we must always ensure that there's only a couple of mil gap between the top of the steerer tube and the edge of the stem. Any more and you will again be putting too much stress on the steerer tube, which could cause it to fail, which would obviously be horrible. That gap there is absolutely necessary in order to take the recess here on the top cap and to give a little bit of adjustment. So as we tighten this preload bolt, there's enough space for everything to compress. If the steerer was flush with the top of the stem, it wouldn't go anywhere and you'd never be able to adjust your headset properly. So we're just going to nip this bolt up, check that everything's straight. You might want to do that on the floor just to get it spot on. And then it's literally finger and thumb, and that should leave the bearings turning nice and smoothly with no play. Once that's done, just need to re-tighten the stem. So we're just going to nip that up. And then we're just going to finish that off with a torque wrench. Most stems will have a torque setting on them. In this case, it's 8 Newton meters. So set your torque wrench appropriately and tighten away. And that's that. Stem's been raised. It's a good idea just to do some final checks before you go out on the road to double check that adjustment of your headset. See, everything should be feeling nice and smooth. And if you grab the bars and try and flex them side to side, then you should feel no play at all. Again, just to make sure, stick the front wheel between your legs, try and move the stem. If it's all torqued up correctly, it shouldn't move, but it's worth checking. So that's it. We're all done, ready to go out and hit the road. Thanks for watching. See you next time.